Hey everybody, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy. And today we're going to do an unboxing video. Today we're going to unbox a First Order Stormtrooper Executioner from The Last Jedi. And this is a Black Series 6-inch figure. So let's go. Let's go to the toy studio and cut this thing open. Come on. Alright guys, here we are today with a Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch Stormtrooper Executioner. And these guys appeared in the newest film, The Last Jedi. And for those of you who may not remember or maybe have not seen the movie, these guys appear in a scene a little bit towards the end of the movie, and what it is they catch Finn and Rose. They infiltrate the large Star Destroyer, or Snoke's Star Destroyer, in the film, and they're eventually found out and captured. And the plan is for the First Order to execute them, and these guys are called in to do the job, and the fun ensues. I don't want to throw out too many spoilers in case there's someone out there who hasn't seen it, but that's why you'll notice, if you look closely here, you'll see in the picture and on the figure they have like a black stripe down the top of their helmet over their eye, and I guess that's how you designate them as a special stormtrooper that performs special duties. And we are going to unbox this guy today, and before we get that far, I just want to do a quick showing of the packaging. We'll spin this thing around here, and I'll show you guys what it looks like from all sides. And so what you're going to notice first off here is there's no number. Most Black Series figures, as you can see here, here's a First Order Snowtrooper. They're numbered, and if you have one that's not numbered, that means it's a store exclusive. And so this guy, I picked him up at a Target, and so he's a Target store exclusive. And on the back here, you have a drawing of the character and a quick description of the Stormtrooper Executioner. So I'll go ahead and read that to you guys. The First Order can only operate effectively when the absolute loyalty with the absolute loyalty of its followers. Should any soldier be found guilty of treason, it is up to this special branch of Stormtrooper to dispense final justice. And so they're explaining to you here, these guys are basically the First Order internal police. They take care of the traitors, the members who commit treason. So let's unbox this guy. Let's do this. And of course, most or all Black Series are got the box taped shut with a couple pieces of tape. No problem. And here we go. And there he is, guys. So let's get him out of here. And I'll be completely honest with you, I'm not totally familiar with this weapon, and we'll be honest with you guys, I don't know what the correct term for it is, but I'm trying to see if these electrical shock things come off, because it looks like they might slide off. And I don't think they do. No, they don't. Okay, so here's a look at his weapon, and I'm just going to move this out of the way for a sec. And as you can see, it's kind of like a claw axe, and it's electrified, and you can see the electricity on it. And they did show these in the movie, and what they did is they knelt down Rose and Finn, and it looked like these guys were going to either remove their heads or hit them in the head with them, and then, you know, things went awry, and of course Finn survived. So there you go, but there's a look at his weapon. Very interesting, very cool. And here we go. Here is the actual Stormtrooper Executioner. Okay. And as a collector, I honestly, I can't say enough good things about these Black Series figures. These things are really nice. I'm really impressed with the detail and the articulation that they have in them. And I'm already noticing something, that it looks like he should have some sort of blaster. And I do not see a blaster. Because if you look here, if you're familiar with the Stormtrooper action figures, especially these first order ones, what they have here is this little thing on their leg. And what you would do with a blaster, there's a little notch on the side of the blaster, and you can click it into this little thing here on his leg. And it's almost like a holster. He'll hold the blaster, but I do not see a blaster in the box, so I guess he does not come with one. So I'm looking at this thing here, and I'm trying to see if there's a way to connect it to his leg, and not that I notice offhand anything that's obvious anyway. So I don't know why they did that, to be honest with you. But let's just take a close look at him here. And as you can see, he's a little bit different than a normal First Order Stormtrooper. One thing you're going to notice is he's got the black shoulder armor here, and then, as I said earlier, he's got a black stripe on the side of his helmet. And other than that, they kind of look, it looks like he's got black pouches on his belt here. He looks very similar to a regular Stormtrooper. And what I'm wondering here is if you get a First Order Stormtrooper, and I will see if I can find one, you might be able to put a blaster onto his, hook a blaster onto his leg here. And let's see here. It almost looks like this thing's removable. I don't think it's supposed to come off. I'm probably breaking it. Okay. So I'm trying to get his legs to flatten out here. But real quick, I just want to do a real quick rundown of his movements here. So on his head, you have side to side and a little bit of up and down. And he is restricted because of the Stormtrooper helmet. So that's about all you get on that up and down of the head. And let's see here. It doesn't look like any of the armor comes off. So on his arms here, you're going to have up and down movement and round on the shoulder joint. But if you look here, you'll see the top of the shoulder armor is actually hitting the chest armor, so that's all the further you can get his arm to raise up. So just be aware of that if you decide to purchase this guy. And so then looking at his arms here, you have elbow movement where he can bend his arms, and he can also rotate at his elbow. And let's see here, looking at his wrist as well, you have a little bit of up and down movement, and he rotates at his wrist as well, just like most Black Series figures. Okay, and then you have waist movement, but it's more at his chest. And what I can appreciate what they do is they try to blend any movement of a figure into any armor or anything like that. So you can see they put the waist movement in under the chest armor, so it looks more natural, which I think that looks really great. So then looking at his legs here, you have leg movement where he can go back and forth. And it's the same thing. Due to the armor on his legs and all the stuff he has on his belt, you're kind of limited. So that is the extent of his leg moving forward and backwards, because if you look here, you can see that the armor is hitting these little black pouches. And it's probably going to be the same thing on the other leg. Yeah, see, that's all the further I can get it to go forward. And that's the extent of the backwards movement. And then we have knee movement in one direction. And then, of course, you have your ankle movement. You have back and forth and round. So, very nice. Very cool. Okay. Now the real final test of a quality figure. Will he stand on his own? Come on, guy. All right, there we go. So he will stand on his own. There he is. Now let's see how he interacts with this weapon. And one thing that's interesting to me already is if you look at his hands, they're in a, especially his right hand here, you can see he has a trigger finger out. So I'm almost thinking these guys should have come with a blaster. It's like they're built for one. But again, one did not come in the box, unfortunately. And his other hand is similar, but the trigger finger is not out quite as far here. I'm trying to get this camera to focus on it here. And there we go. As you can see, it's almost like a fist. So what we're going to do is see how he interacts with his axe here. And I think this is the kind of weapon that one would hold with two hands. So we're going to try that and see if he interacts with it with both hands. And there you go. Very cool. Yeah. All right, guys. Man, he does not want to have trouble getting on this bottom foot here to sit straight. He does not like that. All right. And there he is, guys, from The Last Jedi. This is a Star Wars The Black Series Stormtrooper Executioner. And thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Bye.